Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining me today. This reading is for Scorpio for the 4th of February 2019, and it's a general reading, so it may not suit everyone, but hopefully, there's a message here just for you. Enjoy. Okay, then. Now, please excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit sniffly just now, so hopefully, you can still understand me. Now, we have the three cards from the bottom of the deck, and we also had three cards that came out after the Hierophant down here. And I've put them off to the side because it was getting a bit crowded here, but I'll bring them in at the end. Okay. Now, we had the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Six of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. So, is this reading going to be about money and resources? Let's have a look see. Now, is it maybe the case that, there has been a little bit of a situation regarding money? Maybe you've overstretched yourself a little bit, and you're having to run around to try and meet all the commitments. And it could be that it's something to do with your money reducing, the money that's coming into the household reducing in some way, which has left you in this predicament. Or it could be unforeseen bills that have just popped up out the blue. And, it's left you in a place where you feel as though you're just giving a little bit to everybody to try and, stave off awkward situations. Because it's a very stressful moment when things are starting to get on top of you. Now, the Six of Pentacles has came along, and has there maybe been someone who has been willing to help you out, some organisation or some charity? Have they maybe provided you with a loan or some money which is to be put towards a specific cost? And it's helped with this moment of difficulty. And it's been greatly received by yourself. And it's something that, you are wanting to take care of, and you're wanting to manage well with whatever it is that you want to do with it. So this probably is about a financial situation, and you've been through a difficult situation. So whatever money that or resources are available for you now is something that you want to keep very close to you, because you don't want to go back down this path of difficulty and stress. Okay, let's move these cards over to the side, out of the way. There we go. Right now, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Now, are you maybe decorating or pulling something together? Maybe a project, or are you maybe moving rooms? And you're trying to move into a space where you're having to make it livable for yourself. And, excuse me, whatever money that you have is available for you, you've used it to the best, of its potential. I mean, you've scrimped and scraped, you've used the most economic way of doing things, and you've managed to get to a place where you're comfortable with what you have, and you're very happy with the results of all of your efforts. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Um, have you maybe received some messages, maybe a letter or an email or a phone call, which has kind of began something? Now, you thought things were running smoothly and everything was fine, but with this communication, something's begun and is moving towards you quite quickly. So this could be some sort of a deadline. Now, with the King of Pentacles coming next, could it be that are they expecting some sort of return? Because this is about, you know, manipulating people and being exploitative through money and power, and being possessive. So it could be that they want whatever resources or they want paid for whatever. This could be a loan that you've maybe used. Or it could be that they want some things back. Maybe that you've purchased something or you have something that you've taken with you that this person here wants back. So it could be that maybe you've taken an item in a move. There's a whole variety of different ways to interpret what the item is. Now, and moving on to the next set of cards, we have the Chariot in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Now, are you feeling that the control that you had in pulling everything together and making things as the best that you could possibly and the most comfortablest, I don't know if that's a word, but we'll go with it, comfortablest that you can make it with the funds that were available for you? And that you've tried your best. But the thing is that now you have received this communication that, someone wants to maybe get something back or have a payment of some sort. That are you maybe feeling a little bit out of control? That you thought everything was going to be fine and now this came out of the blue and you didn't expect it. So there's an opposite point of view going on here. And it seems to be that possibly you don't know which way to turn. And the situation could be turning a little bit nasty even. And moving on to the Ace of Cups, this could be something that's quite upsetting for you. This was supposed to be a time where, you were having a lovely moment in this new place that, you've just sorted and that, you're feeling comfortable with. And then all of a sudden you're in the opposite range of emotions. And, it's very overwhelming. But is there someone in your life that you can, maybe have a shoulder to cry on? It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a lover, it could be a partner. And, you talk everything through with them. And, this person is pretty experienced in things, and they find it easy to guide you, give you different options about, the possibilities of getting out of this situation that's upsetting you. Because they, they are someone that deeply cares about you, and they want you to go down a good path and not be upset. So there's definitely, some loving guidance going on here. Now, let's move down to the next set of cards. And we have the Page of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Now, has this maybe been the first time that you've been in this situation? Maybe the first time that you've moved into rooms of your own, or maybe shared a flat, or, maybe offices, or whatever this situation is. Have you not done this before? Are you maybe feeling a little bit unsure of yourself? And it could be that, you do run back to the person who, is giving you a shoulder to lean on. And just to make sure that you're doing things right. Because you don't want to look foolish. And you don't want to go back down the road of being upset and overwhelmed. But the people who, excuse me, have contacted you, and are moving whatever, this is that's upsetting you. They're moving it along. And it could be that they have a different view of whatever this situation is. And they could be planning to take action on something. And you have very different points of view of what this outcome should be. Or it could even be that, the way that things are being done is a point of conflict. But has someone here have a very strong personality? And they don't really accept your point of view. And it turns into a little bit of a conflict because they want the return of whatever it is. And moving on to the Four of Cups, this does upset you, and it makes you feel that you're not going to be able to move on, that you're feeling stuck again. That you don't have a direction to move in. And, it's making you feel that you don't really have anywhere good to go. There's no good path. So you're feeling really low at this point because of all of the difficulties and arguments that's been going on. Now, the next set of cards that you have are the Ten of Wands, the Emperor in reverse, and the Hierophant. Now, are you maybe taking on what is being asked of you. I mean, this person or this company wants the return, whether it be payments or whether it be a return of something. And you're trying your best to do that. You're going out of your way and possibly working extra hours, because this is an obligation that you're wanting to be responsible for. So you're doing your bit, but is the person or the organisation not really interested in your efforts? Are they being quite rigid about what they want and when they want it? To the point that their strong personality is edging into an abuse of their power and position. So this person here is really, that they're using their strong personality, they're using their influence and their position to make life extremely difficult, even when you are making steps to give them what they want. And they want you to toe the line. They want you to jump when they say jump. And they want you to know that they are in power. They're the ones that call the shots. Now, let's bring these three cards in that came behind the Hierophant here. Now, sorry, hold on a wee second. They were the other way around, weren't they? The Strength card came last. Hold on, there we go. That's it. Now, there is a theme here of, this really being overwhelming for you. And it's making you feel very low. And, is it that this person is going out of their way to be more rigid and controlling than they really need to be? And it could be that, this is something that is making you feel that whatever efforts you're putting in, it's going to be a lost cause because this person seems to want you to fail. And it could be that, whatever the agreement or contract that you had with this person, did you maybe not, realise what you were walking into? Did you maybe not read the fine print? Many people don't. Many people don't realise what they're walking into. And definitely don't read the fine print. So it could be that, in your inexperience, have you maybe walked into an agreement with a charlatan, that's out to make a quick buck and be exploitative? And no matter what you do to make amends, they're just going to ignore it. Because this is about power and bullying for them. And, they're very overbearing. This is about being forceful and controlling and making you feel that you don't have any say. And it's about instilling fear about the situation and taking away whatever control you feel you have. So this is a very exploitative, and inflexible person who's using their strong personality and their position to get you to toe the line. So it's not a very nice situation. Now, let's put these back in. Yep, these are the right order. Now, this is a very difficult situation, and it is giving you a lot of stress, and you're trying your best to accommodate everybody, and you possibly are working more hours than you really should be to try to make things better, to get out of this situation. And asking for the help, you thought it was a really good idea at the time. And it's an easy way to solve problems. And, you were very grateful for it when you used the money wisely and you kept it close to you, and you managed it extremely well. So, I mean, you tried your best to use every penny to its maximum. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And, if this is a situation that is close to what's happening with you this week, then please don't lose hope. There's always, a way out of situations like this. Keep your head down. Try not to let this person overwhelm you. And talk to the person who is willing to invest in you emotionally. Your friends, your parents, your family members, your lover, your partner, whoever it may be. Because this situation is overwhelming, especially with someone who's out to exploit and bully. Now, this is a general reading, so even if just one or two of these cards reflect your situation, then that is something that I'm more than happy with, because there are so many different ways that these cards can be interpreted. So hopefully this has helped in some way and at least helped you to possibly look at things in a slightly different way that can maybe see, a way of helping you out of this vulnerable and stressful situation. Okay. Now, please take care, Scorpio, and I hope to see you next week. All right. Bye for now.